This is G with Aroma G's Botanica, and today's free mini class is about how to make black salt. So think of first of all what black usually signifies. People think that black is for baneful things, when actually it's for absorption. You're wearing a white shirt because it's 100 degrees outside. Yeah, you were smarter than me because the darker colors absorb things. Just like people have often used salt for hundreds of years for protection, but black salt is more about absorbing the negativity and keeping you protected. So many people would do things like put black salt on windowsills to keep spirits or entities out of the house. Um, A lot of people, when they cast a spell or do a ritual or a prayer, they'll take a pinch of black salt and put it in the corners of the room before they start either praying or casting a spell. You can add a pinch to meditations and prayers to make them more powerful and to protect the space in which you're performing something. They've been used for cleansing, consecration. You can actually put your crystals in salt to cleanse them at night. Hematite rings have a tendency to break because hematite is supposed to absorb negativity. So people just wear them until they break, but they don't know if they were to put them in salt at night, it cleanses away that negativity that's been absorbed, and then it makes it where it'll last longer. Okay, if you have a visitor at your house, someone you kind of don't want to come back, as they leave, take black salt and sling it in the path where they walked. And it's supposed to keep them from returning. It can be used as a protection ingredient. Put it in other things. Black salt is not the same as black salt that you find that you use in recipes. It's something totally different. When we're talking magical use, then I'm going to show you how to make it. Its main ingredient is ashes. So that's not the same as the culinary. So it is used as a protection ingredient, and I'm going to show you how to actually make it. What I did was I pre-prepared in my cauldron some of the charcoal, which we sell in these rolls in the store, and here they are singularly. And after all these years, it was a conversation someone had where I just recently learned how to burn them properly. I've been lighting them wrong the whole time. Turns out Roy knew how to do it, but he didn't tell me. You do need tongs because they get extremely hot. But you are supposed, because it has a little divot in the center, you're supposed to only get the edges hot and not put the flame in there, which I was doing. And it makes it last longer. So it goes from the outside to the inside, leaving a fairly cooler but bowl that gets hotter as it goes in. So you take the tongs, it should begin to spark when the edges begin to get hot.
You do several points on this.
Right. And because I really can't touch it, sometimes I'll go around it. Mainly around the edges.
Yeah.
Of course, you can also do this if you're trying to make ashes for salt. You can do it with fireplace ashes. It's supposed to be that you're doing it for a purpose.
So any kind of ash generally, or?
Unless it was, let's give you a good example. You had a bonfire where everyone got in an argument. Don't use that. Don't use that.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Kind of think in terms of what kind of energy
right.
was around that.
So on this, we're going to put a little bit of frankincense and myrrh. Because this gets extremely hot. To do these, you have to do it in a fire-safe dish. One that's extremely fire-safe. This is of course, our iron cauldrons, which has sand filled in it. If you're trying to get the ashes, of course, you wouldn't use the sand because it will get mixed up. But this is what I did to create what is in here. There's 3 of them. And I'm going to set this to the side. And what I put on these was I put our 13 herb bath. It's 13 different herbs that are for protection. And I actually sprinkled that on top of it. And then I found that I needed more ashes. And what I did was, this isn't necessarily magical, but I took the dried leaves from our citronella plant at home and burned it outside for the mosquitoes. So yeah, what I have in here is three of them, and it didn't make much. So that's what you'd probably do. And I'm going to use a pestle to kind of dig some of them up because there are still some chunks in here. But the main ingredient in this is ashes, salt. Herbs are already in it because I burned herbs. And then a tiny bit of activated charcoal to make it black. Because, of course, ashes are gray. And you can often pray while you're doing this, depending on what your purpose is. They say use sea salt. I just use plain salt. See, as you mix it up, it's starting to turn.
Do you have certain proportions you use, or do you just eyeball it?
I just eyeball it.
What if you use pink salt, or should it be white?
You can turn pink salt black. Yeah. Because this is becoming gray salt. So this is fairly just gray. You can see that. So we're going to add activated charcoal to it, which is still charcoal. It's still what you're trying to achieve. And you just add what you want to it until it becomes the color you want it. It's getting darker. This is a little bit more of a dove gray. Right. And in medieval times, they would use charcoal too. They would, if someone had been poisoned, they would force feed them charcoal to absorb it.
Yeah, they do this.
Dude, this is still like a dark gray. Here's what we sell commercially, which is black.
Is that the salt or just the charcoal?
The salt. It's actually just black salt, already ready to go. So I'm going to put a little bit more, and then show you what to do with it. So I think this is black as we're going to get it. So you see, it is smoky. That is from the activated charcoal, not necessarily just the ash. And I can taste it. And then one thing you can do with it we talked about other things you could do with it for protective purposes, but sprinkling it is you take a candle that you want to use for protection, anoint it. So you would take the oil and, if you want to bring protection to you, you do it upward. If there's something you're wanting to get off of you, you do it downward. Get enough on it where there's plenty of oil. And then roll it in black salt. And then take this and burn it beside your front door. So mainly protection. Some people use it a little bit for hexing, but that is how you make and how you use black salt.